Hello guys, this is Sanjay. Welcome to my channel and hope that you would have watched my previous videos and lectures on the series which is going on presently, which is the alpha reaction. Basically, you can term it as aldol reactions. We have covered, three lectures in it. The first lecture we basically saw what's the alpha carbon and in a carbonyl compound, and we gave an introduction to the keto-enol tautomerization. And in the second lecture, we came to know the reactions of the alpha carbon, which include a haloform reaction and the alpha halogenation reaction. And in the third lecture, we saw the Hell-Bollard-Zielinski reaction, which is the reaction undergone by a carboxylic acid at the alpha carbon. And then we saw the introduction to the aldol condensation, wherein we give what is aldol condensation. We gave the introduction to what is aldol condensation, and we also uh, saw the reactions in which the reactant is the same. That is, if you take two molecules of acetone, what will be the product? So basically, it is getting self, right? Acetone, an acetone molecule reacts with another acetone molecule. This is generally termed as self-aldol condensation. Now, possibility to high, wherein aldehyde can react with ketone, or ketone can react with aldehyde, or the combinations you can take. So here we see today the topic is cross aldol condensation, wherein two different molecules react to form a product. So I just revised what we have seen in the last class. Okay, we took this one, right? CH3, C double bond OH. This is acetaldehyde. So we take one more molecule of acetaldehyde, and in the presence of base, we also heat it to some extent for the dehydration to take place. And we also saw the retroalder condensation, wherein what would happen if the beta hydroxyaldehyde is not heated. It would revert, the reaction would revert and form back the aldehydes. So now here, at the end of the video, I will say how to write the product of the aldol condensation by looking at the molecule itself. Till that you practice with the mechanisms which I said in the last class. The mechanism would be same for cross aldol condensation also, but some tricky part is there. I'll tell you when I teach cross condensation. This is self, okay? So my handwriting is so bad. So this is self. So this would give the product as CH3, COH, CH2, C double bond OH. Yeah. Now if you heat it, I wrote here only, so there's no difference. Okay. So now if you heat it, you get CH3, CH double bond, CH, C double bond OH. This is what? This is alpha beta unsaturated compound, right? This is beta hydroxy aldehyde. This is alpha beta unsaturated compound. You basically aldehyde or ketone also here. So do you see the resonance taking place over here, right? So only alpha beta unsaturated compound is the product of aldol condensation. Remember that. So now we come to the cross aldol condensation. What is cross aldol condensation? We take the same acetaldehyde. So this I will write is cross. So I take a molecule of acetaldehyde, and for convenience, I take this also, CH3, CH2. This is what? Propanaldehyde, right? So now comes the question. This the both molecules are aldehyde only. So the reactivity would not differ as much as we would see in the case of the reaction between an aldehyde and ketone. That we'll see in the next example. So if you take both the aldehyde, the reactivity difference does not make much sense. Okay, first I would say what all the product will be formed. So now, do you remember the mechanism of aldehyde condensation which I said in previous video? What will happen? A molecule which is reacting, it will form enolate ion. Okay, that enolate ion attacks the carbonyl carbon of the another molecule to form a beta hydroxy aldehyde, right? So basically, what will happen here? Also, will take the same process. First product, I'll write here enolate ion is, you know, um, acetaldehyde. Do you understand what is this? This means acetaldehyde will form the enolate ion. Okay, so accepts the attack. This is propanaldehyde. Okay, now this is the first product, right? So enolate ion, what is how does the enolate ion forms? CH3 C double bond OH plus OH minus. This will abstract a proton here to form CH2 minus C double bond OH. Now this CH2 minus C double bond OH reacts with the molecule of propanaldehyde. This would come over here and attack. So go here to form CH3 CH2 CHO minus CH2 C double bond O. This negative charge forms the bond between this carbon and this carbon. Okay, so this is the product formed here. So this is the medium is aqueous, right? So H2O will be there. As OH minus is involved in the reaction, used in the reaction, OH minus should be released after the reaction is over. So this negative charge abstracts this proton. So forming CH3 CH2 CHOH CH2 C double bond OH. After that, we heat it to form what? Alpha beta unsaturated compound, right? So CH2 CH double bond CH C double bond OH. Okay, this is the first product form. Now the second product, enolate ion is propanaldehyde. Accepts the attack is the acetaldehyde. So what happens? CH3 CH2 C double bond OH abstracts the proton over here to form CH2 minus CH2. Sorry, I made a blunder. Sorry. Alpha hydrogen should be abstracted, right? I abstracted the beta carbon here. So that is a blunder. We should not do that because I'll say why. So the OH minus attacks this carbon to form CH3 CH minus C bond. This anion so formed from this removal of hydrogen is a conjugate base, right? This conjugate base only is stable due to resonance. If you remove hydrogen from here, we form CH2 minus, which is not stabilized by resonance. So we only form this product. So this you have to be very careful while doing that. So CH3, CH minus, C double bond OH reacts with CH3, C double bond OH. This negative charge comes and attacks this, goes here, CH3, CHO minus, CH, CH3, C double bond O. Understand? This negative charge on this CH comes and forms the bond between this carbon and this carbon, so that the aldehyde part is unaffected here and the methyl part is unaffected here. So now again, when you react with it water, you get CH3, CH, OH, CH, C double bond OH. When you heat it again, CH3, CH double bond, C double bond, CH3. This is also alpha beta unsaturated, right? So this is how the mechanism follows. So now we got the two products right over here. So one when the inert ion is acetaldehyde found by acetaldehyde, and the attack is done on propanaldehyde, and vice versa. Now do you realize the acetaldehyde will also react with the same acetaldehyde, right? Which we saw in the previous video. That is here only. So we would get this product also, right? This product also we get. I'll write this directly. So third product is the self product. Self means you understand, product of acetaldehyde. So CH3, C double bond OH will undergo the same thing. CH2 minus C double bond OH. It will attack CH3. You write this again and again until the mechanism comes in a flow. Okay. So CHO minus CH2, CHO, HOH, CH3, CHOH, CH2, CHO. Now you heat it to get CH3, CH double bond CH, CHO. Right? This is the third product. Fourth product is was what? Again, the propanaldehyde molecule will self-write self product of propanaldehyde. This can also happen, right? So if the reactants is 2, we will get, 4 products, 2 cross products and 2 self products. So CH3, CH2, C double bond OH will react with OH minus ion to abstract the proton. CH3, CH minus C double bond OH. This will attack the molecule of CH3, C double bond OH. Attack will go like this, CH3, CH2, CHO minus, CH, CHO, CH3. Do you understand, right? HOH. You get CH3, CH2, CH, OH, CH, CHO, H3. Finally, when we heat it, we'll get CH3, double bond C. Understand, right? So we'll get 4 products: 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is basically cross adder condensation. Nothing much to tell in this. So one thing I'll tell over here, when when ketone is taken as a reactant, the reaction is less favorable due to two reasons. That is, when for aldol condensation, when the reactant is taken as ketone, um, two factors come into role um, to determine the product, right? So one is steric factors. Do you understand what is meant by steric hindrance? Means the difficulty in attacking this carbon due to bulkiness of the group present near to it. Do you see CH3 C double bond to CH is acetone, right? I've drawn in a different fashion. This carbon is tetrahedral, this is also tetrahedral, right? So this will be present something like this, not exactly. So the incoming nucleophile for attack, we should attack this carbon, but due to steric hindrance, it is difficult to attack this carbon. And one more thing, in acetaldehyde, this problem is reduced because of the presence of hydrogen in the group. And similarly, the electronic factors include two CH3 group present on both sides of the carbonyl carbon. But this carbon is attacked by a nucleophile because of the significant amount of positive charge, right? So but the CH3 present here is a electron donating group, right? Plus inductive effect, general organic chemistry. So this inductive effect of the CH3 group reduces the positive charge to some extent that the incoming nucleophile is difficult to attack. Nucleophile is what actually? The donor of electrons, right? Donor of electrons should have some positive charge so that attraction takes place and bond forms. But here the significant amount of positive charge is reduced due to the plus I effect of the methyl groups. But here only one side the methyl group is operating the inductive effect, but another side is hydrogen. This is why we generally do not consider the ketones for the reaction, but we you know uh, there's one reaction known as Claisen-Schmidt reaction, which we'll see in some time, where they consider ketone as the reactants. Now, in the previous question, right? So remember this in mind. Keep this in mind. It will be useful further in this lecture only. So we got four products over here, right? For if we react acetaldehyde and propanaldehyde, 1, 2, 3, 4. But now in the exams they won't ask all the four products, right? Maybe in the board exams they would ask, but in the competitive exams they would ask which product is more stable, kind of. So in some particular cases we are able to determine the major product by controlling some way or the other. One of those ways now I'll tell. There are actually two ways in which you can do that. Where one way where you use a strong base and another using a weak base. Other than that, these cases I am saying for some particular cases kind of thing. But when we compare the reactivities, for example, ketone aldehyde, there and all, if you see, ketone is not readily reactive. So that I'll say later. So particular cases we would see in controlling the products. Just two ways. Okay, first way is that when we use weak bases. So we took the use of base, right, in the aldol condensation. So first way is that use of weak bases, right? Weak bases like OR minus, OH minus, kind of thing. What is the process? I would say. So for example, you take one molecule which has alpha hydrogen, that is acetaldehyde, suppose, and another molecule which has not got any alpha hydrogen. Okay, so which is you take formaldehyde, HCHO, right? So do you think aldol condensation will not take place here? Because I said alpha hydrogen is mandatory for the aldol reactions to take place, right? Because the first step itself is the removal of alpha hydrogen, right? So is it mandatory that both the reactants should have alpha hydrogen? No, not necessarily, because if only one molecule has alpha hydrogen, it can form enolate ion and attack the another one which does not have alpha hydrogen. So the method is I'll say explain the method. So what we do is generally we take the molecule which has not got alpha hydrogen in a large quantity, okay, in a vessel for example, and we slowly add the molecule which has alpha hydrogen very slowly and in a low concentration also, such that the base here, right, it can easily remove the the alpha hydrogen out of the molecule which has alpha hydrogen. Okay, you understand, right? Because it's in a less concentration also, we are adding it and very slowly also, so it is much easier for the base to remove the inert ion. So 99% the molecule which has alpha hydrogen will always be present in enolate form only, because the base removed a very much less concentration of the molecule which has alpha hydrogen. The base removed the alpha hydrogen from the molecule, and it is in very low concentration, that it is always present in enolate form. So that can easily attack the molecule which has not got alpha hydrogen and is also present in a large quantity. It can always, we can ensure that the reaction happens between the one with alpha hydrogen and without alpha hydrogen. Which products we are neglecting, or we are stopping the reaction to happen is the self condensation of the acetaldehyde, right? The acetaldehyde, no, I'll write. If I keep on speaking, you don't understand. So you take this acetaldehyde, right, and also take formaldehyde. So what I'm saying is this you should take in large quantity, okay? This in smaller quantity, so that this base it removes proton easily, so as to form the CH2, this enolate ion, right? This is always present in enolate form. This is the main reason. Um, this product, this reactant should be in a lesser quantity. That is the main catch over here. So that we can ensure always this negative charge over here will attack this carbon, so that crossed product is formed. We are stopping the reaction of this enolate ion with the same acetaldehyde again. Why? Because this is very lesser concentration, so we are stopping this reaction to happen. So this is why we can get a control over the products. So if you take both the molecules having alpha hydrogen, that is different case. If both are aldehydes and both have alpha hydrogen, it is a little difficult to isolate the products. I mean, to get a particular product in nature. But these are the ways particularly. And one more thing I'll say, when ketones and aldehydes react, what will happen? That is different, I'll say. So this is the main catch over here. When we take weak bases in protic solvent. Protic solvent means which donates H positive or H hydrogen connected to most electronegative atom, H2O you can take. So this is the main. The second method, where we take strong bases like bulkier bases like LDA. LDA, what is it? I'll say later. So LDA. So we take this type of reagents, so that it easily removes hydrogen from this product, right? So we first form the enolate ion, then we add the another molecule which is different. You can take acetone or whatever. So another molecule then we add, so that then also you ensure that always the enolate ion attacks the another molecule. So these are two ways in which, first way, I'll revise once again. First way is we should take the molecule with alpha hydrogen in smaller quantity, so that enolate ion is always formed and is present in lesser concentration. This will ensure that it attacks the carbon of the molecule which does not have alpha hydrogen. Still, the crossing of these two takes place, preventing the reaction happening between the nucleophile formed over here and the acetaldehyde present in the medium. Why? Because this is in very lesser quantity, right? So this cannot take place. Even if you take weak bases, there is no problem. Strong bases, though, no problem at all. It will easily remove the proton from the molecule with alpha hydrogen, and we form the enolate ion first. Then we attack the enolate ion to another molecule which we take. So these are the two ways in which we can, get a control over the products. So I'll say this also. So this there is no difference here. We take this Claisen-Schmidt reaction. That this is same as aldol condensation only. Only thing was here is we take ketones as a reactant. You could have done this probably in aldol condensation also, but they have named this. These two scientists found that ketone also undergo these reactions. So we study generally, but same. You need not confuse, right? So we take CH3, C double bond O CH3 for example, and what else we can take? This we can take, right? What is it? What is this? Benzophenone. Okay. So we again same mechanism. Everything is same. I'll directly at the product. You can make a practice by seeing the mechanism. In the previous video, also this video I've said for forming like, 4 products I formed, right? So you can I'll directly write over here. First I'll say while I'm writing. First this will form enolate ion and attack this one. So it will form this product is formed when this is heated. This is the first product. Second product is when this forms enolate ion and it attacks over here. So CH3 COH CH3, and this forms enolate ion, right? So CH2 C double bond O. I did pH for simplicity. There's no wrong in writing this. This is another product. When we heat it, we get CH3 C double bond CH. Always the this is alpha beta unsaturated. This is followed everywhere. Okay. And the third product is CH3 COH CH3 CH2 C double bond CH3, heated CH3 CH3, um, double bond CH3 double bond CH3. Fourth product selfing of benzophenone also. So PHC OH CH3 CH2 C double bond O PH. I'll say how to write is so easily the product. I follow the mechanism so as to write this in my mind only, so that I'll say the trick also to follow. CH3 double bond CH. So same 4 products are formed. Okay, you practice this on your own. So now trick to write the products. I'll say general. If you take CH3C, for example, I'll take CH3 C double bond to CH3. Okay, I will write in different fashion over here. H2. This does not exist like this. I'm just saying for convenience. Okay. CH3. Okay. C double bond O CH3. Okay. Same thing, right? CH3 C double bond CH3. Same thing. We remove this water molecule over here. Okay. To form directly the this one is formed, right? The alpha beta unsaturated compound is formed. See how easy it is. We form the same product over here, right? When we self um, acetone. I'll take one more if you want. CH3 C double bond O H. This is valid only, you can say, for all the products. If you want to write, you can use this once you take the double bond, no, here the molecules are same, so we can take the O and H2 from anything, okay. But if you take CH3 C double bond H and acetone, okay, C double bond O CH3, if you take like this, you remove this this oxygen, and here a two hydrogen, okay. So you can directly write CH3 CH double bond CH C double bond O CH3. And if you want to write the second product, you can remove the oxygen from here, okay, from here, and two hydrogen from here. So CH3 C CH3 double bond CH CHO. So this is simple, right? But if you are asked to write the mechanisms, or the mechanism, they won't ask in board exams. But I would prefer to follow the mechanism. If you practice once or twice, it automatically come to your mind. So there is no difficulty. If you do practice 3 or 4 times, I would write this again and again until I got you know memorized in my mind. So you also do this practice, you would easily find it. So in general, if you take the problems in ketone, you understood, right? CH3 C double bond O CH3, if you take CH3 C double bond O H, the products also will be formed, all the four products will be formed. But if you are asked to find a stable product, so as I said, ketones are less reactive than aldehyde. Okay, I said right here, right? Due to these two factors, what these conclude, is ketones are less reactive than aldehyde. Okay, this is what it concludes. So as ketones are less reactive, the enolate ion formed from here cannot attack this carbon. Attack, but that will not be stable one. The stable one will be, forming enolate ion over here and attacking here. That will be stable compound, okay. So if you are asked the stable product, if you're asked to, if you are given only one option, so that is the stable product, because this can easily undergo attack, this carbon, but this cannot undergo easily attack due to the reasons I said in the previous page. So this forms enolate ion over here, and the attack goes like this. So CH3 COH HCH2 C double bond O CH3 is formed. So this is basically um, the catch over here. So that's all about the Adler condensation in a straight chain. I mean, like, not straight chain, in a shorter molecules, like lesser number of carbon chains. Cyclization can also take place under condensation. Okay, so that's all for now. Here, that's all. So we saw what is cross-order condensation. Four products will be formed, and we saw what is the Claisen-Schmidt reaction. Also, when ketones is the same thing, and we saw the trick over here, and we saw the control over products. Okay, this is the control over products. Okay, so that's all. Here we saw the factors affecting this. So in the next video, I'll say about the cyclization via aldol condensation, how it takes place, and we'll see some two condensations similar to aldol condensation, and then we can practice lots of questions. So okay, fine, that's all for today. So we'll catch up in the next lecture. So take care, guys. Bye bye.